To start, Georgia is in Europe, be it in our economic development headquarters in Munich, our office in London, our university campuses and study abroad programs all over the continent, our sister state relationship with Lorraine in France, every city into which Delta flies, every cafe that serves a Coca-Cola, every office building into which UPS delivers, every one of those delivers a link between the state of Georgia and the European Union. And of course, Europe is in Georgia. European investment currently counts for the largest source of regional foreign direct investment into Georgia, reaching $12.25 billion in 2007. A third of our imports come from the EU. But beyond that, 25 European nations have consulates, either in career or honorary form, here in Georgia. Every day, we're working to grow that number and position Atlanta in the very upper echelon of truly international cities. And every day I have the privilege, on behalf of you, the tax-paying citizens of Georgia, and the governor, to work with the men and women of the diplomatic corps and the commercial community. And every day I see the opportunities, be they in energy or transportation or biotechnology, nanotechnology, information technology, climate change and the environment. Every day I see the opportunities, and the opportunities come to fruition for us to create linkages. The EU-CE will only enhance our existing relationships with the businesses and the educational institutions, the civil society groups, and governments in the member states. I want to tell you, to end, a story. Just a year ago, in June 2007, I had the privilege of being with the governor when we set foot at Stormont in Belfast, Northern Ireland. And on that day, we walked in, and this was just a couple of weeks after the devolution of power in Northern Ireland. And we were the first people outside of Dublin and London from any government, from any place in the world, to go there. Jim Gaffey well remembers. And we walked into a room, and there sat Martin McGuinness. And for those of you who know Martin McGuinness and his history, he sat there, and we had a very civil and wonderful conversation with him in his office. About 5 minutes after the conversation began, the door opened, and in walked Dr. Ian Paisley. Ian Paisley was coming to Martin McGuinness's office. He was coming to Marty's office, not the other way around. And we sat there, and Dr. Paisley began to speak. And he said something along these lines, and I'll paraphrase him because I'll never get it exactly right. He said, we had to come together. We had no other choice to come together. Because if we hadn't come together as a people, to work together, to learn together, to play together, to educate together, if we hadn't done that, then there would no longer be a Northern Ireland for our children and our grandchildren to keep and to come back to. And I tell you that to say this, that story has stuck with me. The more we understand one another, the more we share one another, the closer we come to fulfilling the vision of one of our city's greatest native sons, Dr. King, that we should live together as brothers and sisters, not perish together as fools. So this EU-CE takes us such an extraordinary step. Vicki, I congratulate you on behalf of the governor. Thank you so much for what you've done. These next 3 years are going to be dynamite. It's going to be so dynamite they're going to keep it here in perpetuity, I know. Thank you to the EU for what you've done. On behalf of our governor, congratulations to Georgia Tech for this historic and wonderful accomplishment.